How's it going, everybody? Donut here, as always. This is a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. We are reading some more Hero. I need to get another Mahjong hat, or my Mahjong hat I've been using for work because it's the best hat I have. But I need to get another one for these reactions. But for now, back to this. But either way, now where are we going to go from here? We're just going to go straight to the East-West match, or is there another little in-between thing we have to do right now? Or I guess not the East-West match, but like, I guess, you know, are we doing a like tournament with the 4 people who won, or how many people are we bringing to the East-West tournament? Is all this whittling down to one person, or are we trying to bring those 4 to the tournament? I'm not sure. We actually, because it's 5 people now, I don't think we're going to do another match or anything. Okay, yeah, 5 people will move on, but move on to East-West or move on to something else. And yeah. So, like, yeah, 10, what the hell is going on with 10? He said he couldn't come for some reason. He was able to, like, why was he on the phone having the conversation? I guess because that way he could break it and leave it for Hero. That's why he did it right there instead of after he ran away. But yeah, what the hell is going on with 10? Is he safe? He's fine. Can't say it now, but there's no doubt that he's safe. Okay. So yeah, I assume West doesn't know where he is, East doesn't know where he is. But okay, so because 10 isn't coming, there's a problem with our lineup. The distribution during the East-West battle. What about the 4 Heavenly Kings? With a distribution of 3 people, be 2 to 1, 1 to 2. What are we talking about? Okay, so originally the 4 Heavenly Kings was Soga, Harada, 10, and Akagi. Okay, makes sense. But 9 years ago, he East led by 10. He East led by 10 defeated. What is this even trying to say? 10 East led. What is this trying to say? The East by 10's hand defeated Harada in the West. Is that what we're trying to say? The East. Oh, I see. The East led by 10 defeated Harada in the West. That's what that sentence is supposed to say. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. The first East-West battle was over. Of the 4 who had reigned at the top for a long time, apart from 10, the 3 others disappeared from the center stage. So yeah, now there's none of them. 10's the only one left, and the other 3 dead or gone. You know, 1's dead, 2 gone. Who knows? Assuming they're still alive. And with that in mind, the underground Mahjong world was plunged into rough times. It became a period of rivalry among the greatest. Yeah, power vacuum within the Mahjong scene. Money from the bubble economy was overflowing in Japan, and fierce battles were fought in various places. In the year 1999, to replace Akagi after his death, coming in like comets, 3 men had appeared. Boom, boom, boom. That's like Kanto region, right? And I'm not good enough with my regions of Japan to know the other places, but... So looking it up, it's actually probably Tokyo, Osaka, Fukuoka. That's probably the 3 places these guys are from. Which should have some very distinct personalities and everything. I assume there's going to be 3 characters we don't know. I don't think this is anybody we know. Real quick, is there anybody that could be? Let me see. I got my names written down here for every character that was in 10 and everything, so... I just can't... I don't think so. No. There's nobody else that would be. So it's got to be 3 new characters, right? Okay. Saiki from Yokohama, Shinomiya from Kyoto, and Asuguma from Kyushu. Okay, so from Yokohama, from Kyushu, and then from Kyoto. Or no, sorry, this guy would be... Wait. Okay. It's interesting because, like, these dots are not, like, over the place, right? Because, like, I guess, actually, no, Kyoto is right around here, right? Actually, I thought with those... But this was up higher than I thought. Because, yeah, like, here, it's right there near that, like, peninsula and everything that. But here, it's further up from that. Actually, no, that is the peninsula there. So, wait. I thought this was the peninsula there. That's Kyoto? I thought Kyoto was, like, right around here. Okay, no, yeah. Kyoto is right next to Osaka. I thought it was closer to Tokyo, but no. It's closer to Osaka. Okay. But either way, so these are going to be some very interesting people. But, yeah, let me write down these names first, and then we'll talk about them. Okay. So... Saiki, right? That's how it would be? Or Saiki? How do you pronounce that, actually? I have no idea. But okay, it's just Saiki. It's basically pronounced, like, you know, also with an I, it would be like Saiki, but we still also, you know, but also, I mean, you know, Japanese people pronounce that as just Saiki. you kind of just, it's like some of the, you have that in every language where you just sort of take out the middle. Everybody gets too lazy and they take out the middle. So it's just Psyche. From Yokohama, I don't really know anything about Yokohama at all, but this guy looks like pretty youthful. I assume he's I'm not even gonna assume. He is the youngest here. He's probably younger than, how old is Hiroyuki again? He's like 30, right, or something. So I think I don't know, this guy could be 30. But yeah, he seems young, and he seems like a city kind of boy. He seems a bit like I don't know. He is just that kind of like youthful, late 90s, early 2000s mall culture kind of guy. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. He's got greasy hair, I'm assuming. He's a little bit smug, but he's not like crazy smug or anything like that. Interesting that he's one of the 4 heavenly kings. Crazy. Then Shinomiya from Kyoto. Don't really know much about Kyoto aside from just that Kyoto is the original. That's the original capital of Japan before Tokyo, right? It was Kyoto, so probably a lot of pride there and everything like that, I imagine. He's got some grayed hair, but it's all slicked back. He's got mutton chops. Like, he's got like big, thick sideburns that like go out, but not quite mutton chops. But that's the closest I can think of. But he's also got like some extra like tuft down there too. Interesting. And yeah, bigger guy, more intimidating. The glasses and everything. Then we got Asaguma from Kyushu. Kyushu, I did look. So Kyushu is the name of the island, versus Fukuoka is the capital of the island, which I'm more familiar with. But okay, Kyushu is the island. I imagine, again, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I imagine it's a lot like Hokkaido. Both are islands, big ass islands too. So they have a lot of their own culture and a lot of like separate stuff from Japan. I assume the same can be said for Kyushu. They're gonna have like a lot of pride in their very personal stuff. Also a bit more country, a little bit more hick in general. That's my guess. But okay, yeah, so that's the Heisei eras. New 4 heavenly kings. The Showa kings were the ones before. Now we got the Heisei kings. Cool. Ooh, okay, so the 3 people who have merged have not yet faced each other and not yet been raided. So we don't. I like that they haven't faced each other yet. There's not going to be rivals between them. It'll all come out in the second East to West War. Hell yeah. But okay, yeah. So now players all over Japan are paying attention to the trends of the 4 heavenly kings. They want to become the new kings. So, all right. We got our emperors. And right, yeah, I didn't think about that. So yeah, Psyche is the only one that's going to be for us because he's the only one that's east enough. The other 2 are so west. Yeah, so Shinomiya and Asaguma are going to be west. So it'll be it's 2-1 because there's no 10. Yeesh. So Hero, you're gonna have to become a new, fucking heavenly king. You're gonna have to take 10 spot there. But what? There's not even one of the 4 heavenly kings in the east. There is 0. What? It wasn't even 2-2, huh? And how is this all only coming out now? I guess they've all fallen to the west. Okay, so they've been bought out. I see, okay. So we ain't got none. We're going to have to face each of these guys. Cool. But, okay. So then it's going to be up to Hiro, Nishikata Kyosuke, and Shohei Nakata to be, our new... what's his name? Kishibe. But yeah, Kishibe, Kyosuke, Nakata, they'll be the big ones that are they're gonna have to be along with Hero, formidable against these heavenly kings. They're gonna have to. And yeah, I guess Kin's gonna be a part of this too. But Kin's already been. I mean, he's young too, to be fair. But I don't feel the same need to say like, Kin, you better shape up like the rest of us. I just have faith that he will. Versus the other guys, we don't really know anything about. And I mean, Kyosuke, I have faith in him already, I guess. But we don't know enough about him. But yeah, it's like they went up against the combined forces of Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Ieyasu all together with just this, ragtag group. And they're not even like, it's as if these fictional characters, it's just like, no, it's as if we went up against these fictional characters. Or sorry, it's as if we went up against these historical characters. Why was I saying fictional characters? Yeah, just cut down easily. This was a 2-page spread, but they didn't even bother to put them together. They didn't even bother to put them together at all. Come on. Come on. But Psyche specifically being on the side of the enemy is too much. Yeah, Kishibe knows Psyche. I only heard rumors about Shinomiya and Asaguma, but I've never even seen Psyche for myself. Okay, so 4 years ago, when Kishibe was just starting out as a novice, and before Psyche was even one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, there was a full-scale competition between groups. The titled number 2 in the East after 10 at that time was a person named Ryuji Kano from Tohoku. That day, Ryuji's retirement match, players from all over the Kanto region gathered to see Kano's retirement. The victory or defeat by the 10th Hanchan at this point was already settled by the time he had finished the 9th. Very funny that the person who was number 2 after 10 looks so much like 10 as well. So much like him. Does some rapid and flashy tricks. Nickname he got was something to do with a dragon here. The Rising Dragon of Tohoku. Sumo Suiso Suanko. Yeah. Retirement's too early for him. This was his retirement match and everything. Okay. He's betting a 10 million he'll get a Yakuman win against the boss here. Okay, on the contrary, if it doesn't happen, I'll pay 10 million. I mean, yeah, hell of a going away match. Yeah, don't need to win, just need to prevent him from getting a Yakuman. This way we can get a portion of our money back. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be very into it, but yeah, this guy, I mean, if he's like 10 had so many tricks up his sleeve to get a Yakuman, so. There's supposed to be a retirement match. Like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, but they're not even trying to stop him yet, because it's only the 3rd round. Why would you even bother? But from behind him, actually, okay, Psyche. This is Psyche saying this. The dragon ascends. Yeah, like, how is Psyche involved in this? I haven't even considered, like, how the fuck is he involved with this? But okay, yeah, the waves rising out of the water. Run, die, Sungen. Perfect for the rising dragon. Ding, 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 ding. What just happened just now? You bastard, if I'm not mistaken, you're a player for our side. Yeah. 1 round was all he needed. It was Psyche. But what was Psyche? What did he do? How did he do it? Is this like a tile swapping situation, or is it just skill? I don't know. But okay, they give him the money, and then they go to leave. But who said this was the end of the ride? Rinchan Ipomba. Okay, we're going again. 1 more. Yeah, 10 million per Yakuman. But he is changing the rules. The rules was, like, as he said, the rules were basically just, the game was whether you can get a Yakuman or not. You got a Yakuman, you won, it's over. But now we're changing the rules. There's no reason for him to go along with this. Oh shit, no, never mind. He did say 10 million per Yakuman. Okay, never mind. Shit. And his rep player is Dunskies. But, Psyche, you get in there. Yeah, remembers that. Not even just Kano's Tenpai. He foresaw everything. The Crow. Caca! Okay, love that aesthetic for him. Can you, sir, prevent this man from getting the win? Half. What does that mean? 50% confident? No, I want 5 million in return. What? But alright, yeah, it's better than, shelling out 20, 30, 40, 50 million. I had to look this up. The second non-Yaochu title, never heard that in my life. Through context clues, I think Yaochu is simple tiles, like simple numbers. I'm guessing that's what it means, because it just seems to be a suffix for, like, a bunch of different things. But, man, this translation. Okay. He's got a con of the Ton here, so. Oh, yeah, the Kakushimuso. Yeah, stopped it entirely. Yeah, now I can't do the Kakushimuso. Okay. But Psyche causes the entire audience to freeze as he plays it. Direct hit. But, I mean, if we have a Kana, then he can't. Oh, no, sorry, no. Right, I was thinking he would be like, he would still have to have another one, right? Unless I guess he would have to already have a pair. And never mind. You could still do it without having to have a pair. I'm an idiot. But it does pass. But okay, so it's not a Kakushimuso. What's he going for then? Tadashi What? Tadashi, the third non-Yaochu title. What? Tadashi? What the hell does that mean? Okay, Tadashi is discarding a tile that was already in your hand. Okay, so it's like, discarding from the hand is what we typically call that. But now they're like, it's gotta be Kikuchi. But I don't know. How could it be? And okay, he does it again with the Ton, but no, it ain't gonna go through. I mean, sorry, it is gonna go through. Like, it's not gonna get taken. But he's saying it's been cut off. It's been cut off. The dragon's been cut off. He was one tile away from Tenpai. And he won. Okay, he is going for Kikuchi. He is going for Kikuchi. Then why? Why did he not go for it? What's he trying to do here? He already had his Yakumon. What the fuck? Well, no, he doesn't. He doesn't because he couldn't get it yet. Sorry, I misread the hand. He's got 2 of the one pen and got 2 of the non. So he can't actually. Okay, never mind. So now Kikuchi Tenpai again. Yakumon Tenpai again. But Saiki sumos before he can. The crow slices off the tail of the dragon. Chitoitsu, it's over. No more Yakumons for you. And now you gotta pay 10 million, so now you got nothing. Now you got no money. Yeah, he took him over by 1 turn. If it was 1 turn later, couldn't have done it. Damn, yes, that's Saiki. I'll be remembering that name. Thus, the end of Ryuji's retirement match spawned one of the 4 Heavenly Kings. But yeah, all this still a mystery. We don't know how he was able to do any of that. We don't know how Kana was able to do any of that. We don't know how Saiki was able to do any of that. Still no answers. Oh, okay, we have Kana on our side. He got him out of retirement. Okay. He became a fisherman in his hometown of Aomori. Damn. I mean, it sounds like a good retirement, especially at his age. But okay, we got him. I'm here to get it back from the time I was obstructed. Okay, you know what? I thought it was like super cool that we were getting this whole guy who was number 2 to Ken, but he wasn't going to be in the story anymore. He's going to be retired. Kind of do prefer that than him coming back, but I'm happy to see him regardless. He's got a cool design. Okay, we got him though. The Rising Dragon of Tohoku, Ryuji Kano, actually not retired. I don't know why we have a translator who's trying to translate a Mahjong series when they don't know Mahjong. What made you do this? How did you even get here in Hero? How did you get to this place in Hero without knowing about Mahjong? What the hell? Chapter 47, Into Battle. Okay, we're moving towards, I mean, like, I don't know, Into Battle makes it sound like we're gonna get into battle this chapter, but I don't know. I'll see how we can. Also, this dragon's eyes are so derpy. I'm like, why are its eyes so derpy? I don't know. Alright, welcome aboard, Ryuji. Welcome aboard. He's a bit of a goofy guy himself, too. He really does remind me just like a young 10. But yeah, he was forgotten by the world. Seemed that Ryuji's whereabouts couldn't be traced anywhere, not even in West Japan. So yeah, West doesn't know about him. Doesn't know we have him. And okay, yeah. So okay, wait. Nikata's here. Is everybody else here as well? Oh yeah, we saw Kyosuke here and everything. I forgot they're all in this room as well. But okay, so he's here, just listening in. But yeah, Ken was able to locate him. How'd he do that? And yeah, they're both wherever he's pulling out of his thing here. Okay, Ten Takeshi invited him or something. You never expected to be a telegram. But then how did Ten find him? So it's not how did Ken find him, it's how did Ten find him. But, alright, so damn, this is a big-ass tuna. This artist loves to draw, like, gross guys' mouths like that. Same with the guy who just fell, we thought he died, but just broke his neck. But, where is all this going? He's sharing a meal with Ten. Okay, this guy's got a particularly, yeah, you're not supposed to eat that kind of sushi that way. If you eat oma tuna like that, the taste is spoiled. You gotta do it on the back of it. Alright, I don't think I'd get along with this guy at all. This guy was so annoying. But okay, so this conversation is gonna lead to, like, yeah, my hometown. And moreover, that bait you left for me, did you know I'd bite? No translation. No translation at all. Let me try and translate it myself. I don't know. Is it just saying my translation thing? I don't know. I'm trying to Google Translate, which is not great. But like something like this is 10, but this is something about like this is Psyche's name here. I'm not sure what this is, but is this just say I don't know. I don't know what it's saying actually. Oh, okay, that was his kid. That's his kid there apparently. Okay, damn. But what was that all about? Okay, about time for us to go. We are going to get into battle this time. We'll now embark to the other camp. Okay, we're going over to the west. But yeah, it's not another day. We're just doing it today, right now. And okay, Sawada's coming over as well. I mean, also, what the hell happened with the whole Kiyomaru stuff? What was Kiyomaru just pretending? Was he just acting with everything? Alright, everybody getting on the elevator. Still don't know anything about this kid at all. Don't even have a name or anything, I don't think. I mean, yeah, we don't have a name at all. I didn't write down a name at the very least. But alright, to the helicopter pad. Interesting. We're going to take a helicopter there? Yep, it was. Shining super brightly. It's got to be... Yeah. Oh, okay. Actually, they just got the spotlights down to, like, so that way the helicopter can land, I'm assumingly. But, yep. Gonna take a helicopter, baby! From the governor of Tokyo! We're taking the governor's helicopter? My God! But yeah, I love this. I love this. It's like a lower scale Battle City from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sort of thing. Are you kidding? It's like we're watching a movie. I mean, the whole hero manga is like a 80s live action movie vibe. Definitely get that vibe. I imagine that's a lot of the inspiration from the mangaka. Can't believe we're taking the fucking governor's helicopter. Awesome! Do I get to sit next to a hot lady? Today's been so cool. Okay, Ryuji's, I quit, I can't go. This was never talked about before. He's got a fear of heights or something. I mean, if he had a fear of heights, he wouldn't be in this building. You wouldn't catch me dead in the skyscraper. Ain't no way. Going above 10 stories, I think, is my max. 10 stories is my max, and that is terrifying to me. Can't do it. I can't exist in a building that big. So I don't think it's a fear of heights. I would assume it's a fear of flying instead, which I actually don't have any fear of flying, and those are like two very distinct fears. I've flown many planes, I've flown helicopters. Helicopters are scary as shit, don't get me wrong. It's scary, but it's not like a phobia or anything. As opposed to like heights, that's a phobia. Okay, he's afraid of heights. I don't buy that. This mangaka does not understand fear of heights, because it's not the same thing at all. If he had a fear of heights, he would have been afraid to be in this whole ass building. This is such an insanely tall building, and he wouldn't have even gone up to the helipad. Why would he go up to the helipad if he was afraid of heights? But he's saying perverse, like heights are perverse. Please, he's crying. Oh, I'm unlucky. He's such a quirky guy. I like him. He's written more like an Araki, a Hirohiko Araki kind of character. I like him. This is not a thing that Fukumoto does very often. It's not a thing that the hero writer has done, giving very specific quirks to the characters that aren't really related to any other part of them. Like, it's not tying into any thematicness of the character. It's just a random quirk. But I like it. And Sawada's freaking out too. Alright, now, to the battlefield! But I still got like 2 more chapters left, I think, of this chunk of chapters, so I don't think we're gonna... I'm curious what this whole group of chapters I'm reading was arranged by, but... I think Maida is, the mangaka, is so much better at characters than Fukumoto in a short-term sense. You know, like the designs, the quirkiness of the characters. It's just very quickly you get yourself immediately, you know, into them. Versus like the minor villains throughout Akagi or Kaiji or whatever, we don't really think about, you know? Like, how many of the villains from part 1 of Kaiji do we think about at all, even in a passing sense? Like, you know, there's... Of course, Tonegawa and Hyodo, like, of course we think of them very highly, but then there's, like, Funai. That's about it. And how much do people really think about Funai? Funai is basically just a plot device, you know? And then we never think about the other villains of part 1. We never think, I can't even remember any of their fucking names. Kinami, or something like that. But yeah, we never think about those guys. But, like, every single character in Hero, no matter how small, is memorable. And that is so shocking. This mangaka is doing a great job. But yeah, he's like, put on your seatbelt or you'll die. Honestly, you should have your seatbelt on a helicopter. It is terrifying. None of them have, like, fucking headphones on either. Like, if you're in a helicopter, you all have to have headphones on because it's so loud. You cannot hear each other speaking. Like, literally, you cannot. You cannot even understand how loud it is in there. But, yeah, that is like, I'm surprised it was so difficult to look out of the window in a helicopter. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Plane, I've got no issues, but a helicopter, you feel every single movement of the wind, and every time the helicopter has to move, the whole helicopter has to tilt and shit like that, so you're like, oh my god, it's terrifying. But yeah, what a view. How did they afford this? Like, or what is the reasoning behind this? Like, who's the governor of Tokyo, and why is he allowing this? But okay, we're not going to Kansai. Where are we going? Is this not even going to be in Japan? Or is this going to be, like, where else would it be? Our destination is in Kansai. Okay, Kiyomaru is here in the helicopter. Okay, so I do think he was just acting for all of this. Okay. But okay, yeah, so we got some more stuff to cover before we actually get there. Okay, if you didn't catch how Ten knew where Ryuji was, he figured it out because the Oma tuna he mentioned is Pacific bluefin tuna, which in Japan is caught off the coast of the Tsugaru Strait between Hokkaido and the mainland, aka off the coast of the city of Omori in the Tohoku region. Okay, so yeah, that's how he was able to. But what was the thing he, if Sonic Crazy, I know you watch these reactions. If you could explain to me what the translation of that the telegram that Ten sent him, I would, love that. Thank you if you do. The Kansai King? Okay, I mean, so yeah, he is the big guy from Kansai, but he's the Kansai King? Okay, actually, well, this guy's the enemy. Kishibe thinking he's the enemy makes me, unless Kishibe hasn't been told about everything. Was he, like, only that phone call, was that the first time he found out about any of this shit? And so that we didn't tell him everything? Because he's been so in the dark. Has he just been letting, I assume he's not just been letting Hiro try and figure this out all himself. I don't believe he's that good of an actor. So I don't think he knew anything until that phone call. That's my guess. But okay, so here's my prediction for what's going on with Kiyomaru. I think that he is sick of the West trying to buy out Mahjong, essentially. Trying to, force their way through all this money and stuff like that and making Mahjong not fun anymore. I think he wants to join the East for, bringing back the authenticity into Mahjong again. I think that's, what he wants from this. But Ten did run away from him and everything. Actually. So actually, I guess that is a whole separate part of this whole thing. I'm thinking, so he's not working with Ten and all this stuff, so we would assume he was just part of the West camp then, and that's why all this was happening. I mean, obviously we're saying now he's part of the West camp, but, back then, we wouldn't have had any way to known, but, so the idea is he's a part of the West camp, and he was going to capture Ten. Ten separately was like, I can't let myself be captured, and also I'm doing something else, who knows what the fuck he's doing, but, Hiro, I need you to get together the East camp and do all this shit. Okay, I'm starting to understand the whole overall plot a little bit more, but I'm still going to say that I think he's joining the East team because he wants more authentic Mahjong again. And yeah, he's on the helicopter and everything, so that means Ken led him on the helicopter. I don't think Ken's surprised, so there's, Ken knows we're working together, I think. But yeah, that's not true, I'm not your enemy. Oh, he looks like a demon right now. Listen up, morons. That's all in the past. Sung in a Tokyo Bay. Okay, so that was... real. That was real. And then he changed his mind later on. Wait, who the hell is this guy? With a broken arm? Sorry. That's where we're flashing back to the guy. Yeah, I mean, he did smash a guy's hand, actually. Fucking, I forgot he did do that, actually. He broke his hand. So, okay. This is not like he could have just been acting. Yeah, Rocky, I guess. But, his fingers were smashed. But yeah, Kenneth, this man is an enemy, just like you in the first East-West battle. 12 years ago, get the flashback to that in Fukuoka style. Oh, that's so cool. So you're scouting from the West. Nah, I'm from Tokyo. But yeah, Ken was originally from the West, and then he moved over, so likewise, him as well. Also, how did you guys not notice he was on this plane? Or a helicopter? How did you board this helicopter and not notice this man? He's so big. No, this is the second East-West War. And this West doesn't mean Kansai or Western Japan. Hell yeah, let's do it, baby. Let's do it. As I said, West means actual West. Japan is all of East, except for those three players which said we going West. Now, does West mean China, or does it mean all the West? Like, is this going to be people from Europe, people from America, people from South America? Are we going to get that? I don't think so. I'm going to guess West is just China, but that's my guess. I would love for it to be, even broader, and get lots of players from all over the world. But I just can't imagine why Europe would have any stake in this. So I'm going to guess it's China. And yeah, Kyosuke and unnamed. Kyosuke's listening in a little bit, but unnamed just passively. In other words, the enemy this time is not Japan. Yeah, even though it's West, even though the West is West, it crosses the sea, far away. It's China, the Hong Kong Mafia. Okay, we're doing Hong Kong actually, the Hong Kong Mafia specifically. Oh boy, hell yeah. As I just said, our 80s movies, not this mangaka's bread and butter. Let's do it, baby. This is gonna be an 80s movie, hell yeah. Yeah, Hong Kong Mafia immediately pictures all the fucking 80s triad movies. Hell yeah, I'm excited. Oh, this guy is like, what's he looking up? Overseas guide sightseeing. Yeah, he's just looking up things to do in Hong Kong. Immediately hears this, ooh, what can I do in Hong Kong? But yeah, Kyosuke, interesting reaction there. Like, you can tell there's a little bit of like, oh, okay, Hong Kong, but like trying to keep it cool. All right. It's not Kanto versus Kansai, but instead Japan versus China. What? That means Mr. Kiyobara is not our enemy, but a full-fledged 8th Japan equals East player. What does that mean? A full-fledged Japan equals East player? That's like implying that like he's in the camp of saying, I think Japan is the East. But isn't China and Hong Kong also saying Japan is the East in this case? They're saying it's East versus West, Japan versus China. Both sides are agreeing Japan's East. What are we talking about? Is this just like this originally was like kanji for East had like the kana for Japan or vice versa or something, and this translator's translating it as Japan equals East, like both of those together, like Japan East. That's the only thing I can imagine, because I do not think this is trying to say that it's a camp of one side saying Japan is the East and one side saying Japan is not the East. That does not seem like what's going on. Yeah, we aren't prepared to go to Hong Kong as we are. Don't we need our passports? Don't we? Isn't there something we require? I'm not sure how it works, actually. But okay, yeah, don't we need our passports? Okay, yeah. I was about to say, like, I don't know if that, I know in, like, Europe, I don't think you exactly need your passport to cross between borders. I mean, to be fair, even, like, you didn't need to in America and Canada. You could just cross the border with no passport before. Now, obviously, you can't. But back in the good old days, back when, that shit was a lot more lax, you could, as long as you were driving and stuff, you didn't need a passport. Nope, the destination isn't Hong Kong. Okay, where are we going then? Huh? The helicopter doesn't seem to be headed west. Okay, so then what was the whole rigmarole? Where are we going then? We're going to pick up 10? I don't think. No, because he doesn't know where 10 is. So, where the fuck are we going? I don't know. I have no idea. We're heading south. Okay. Yeah, stop being arrogant. Explain it to us properly, Ken. Thank you, Sawada. Thank you, Sawada. Greatly needed. Alright, between 1997 and 1999, do you remember what big changes occurred in China? The Hong Kong independence thing happened in 1997, right? What's this about now? I don't care about history. The Tiananmen Square incident. Okay. No. Hong Kong and Macau's return to China. Oh, that's right. It was returning. Opposite. Not independence taken away. I love Kisuke having or Kishibe, sorry, having a wrong answer here. But so often for a situation like this, you either get someone like Sawada saying, like, I don't give a shit. Or you have somebody that's just, like, gives a jokingly wrong answer. Like, a comedically stupid answer. But, like, I really appreciate, this is, like, the first time I've ever seen in a manga, or really anything, where somebody gives an actual answer, but it's like, no, I mean, I've probably seen it before, but I don't know, this just stands out to me so much. I've probably seen it before, but alright. I actually don't know really much about Macau at all, but the Hong Kong I know more about. But, they both have been colonies of England and Portugal for about 100 years, were returned to China, and, but no, I think I am right. This was independence from England and Portugal. Independence from China came a lot later, but the first independence movement in 1997 was from England and Portugal. I think that's just where I got confused. But, yeah. But, alright, come to think of it, until then, Kiyomaru's going to be tying all into this then, yeah. Until then, the Black Society, in other words, the Hong Kong Mafia, had been nesting in Hong Kong and Macau. They had nowhere to go once the change had happened, so they began secretly expanding to other parts of Asia. Among them was a group based in Hong Kong's den of vice, Kowloon City, had joined hands with Macau's Casino King to launch do-or-die games. But because their stronghold, Kowloon City, was now controlled by the Chinese government, it was demolished, literally erased from the earth, eradicated. They lost their homeland, and they now sought new routes, and they looked into big city gambling concessions to be developed. They sought their eyes on us. So now they're trying to take over the mahjong scene as well. Tokyo redevelopment, the whole building and everything. Does anyone know the name of the building where our new team won the qualifying round just a while ago? What was it? Yeah, I didn't even know there was a skyscraper being built in the middle of Roppongi. The official name is yet to be decided. Or rather, it can't be decided, because we don't know what will be the purpose of the building. So it will all be decided in the Second East-West War. We're betting over this building? What? That's actually lower stakes than I thought. But is there more to it? Not just Roppongi. Okay. Akasaka, Shiodum, Shinagawa, Marunouchi, Yasue, Odaiba, they will all face incalculable amounts of redevelopments. It is underway with the involvement of the governor of Tokyo. Even the Tokyo Tower that was shining earlier, it will be replaced soon. Okay, damn. Is that real? Did that actually happen in real life? Most of those redevelopments are concerned with gambling interests. That is, the current governor of Tokyo, Shinosuke Inohara, is doing everything in his power to promote Tokyo Metropolis's public casino plan. Bring in the tourism, baby! Okay. Much bigger stakes. Okay, I was like, this is one building? No. Lots of buildings. And again, it's all for, money, power over how people gamble. That's what it was for the first time. It's what it is the second time again. Just a whole different story. And honestly, the fact that this actually made the first East-West battle feel a little bit more important, that's the biggest problem with 10, is that, Western audiences don't quite understand it very much. It's very, very, hard to understand the East-West thing, specifically. But, I think Hero is doing a great job of explaining it, not just to a Western audience, but probably there was plenty of confused Japanese people as well, I'm sure. Just by nature of how Fukumoto tells stories, they can be very confusing, because Fukumoto's the kind of guy who is a lot like me sometimes, where he's like, you get it. Fukumoto just assumes that everybody knows what he knows, and I am very guilty of that myself, so I understand. But we're doing a much better job in Hero at explaining all this stuff. And, again, tying all this into, actual real-world shit happening and political stuff is just a thing that Fukumoto doesn't do very often. He does it, but it's very, very infrequent that it ties so directly into a real-world thing that happened. Gendaken, I feel like, is his biggest example of doing that, and this definitely has Gendaken vibes to me. But aside from Gendaken, he does it very sparingly. As opposed to this, the Washizu spinoff, all that sort of stuff. But I will say, something I'm confused here, and if somebody could explain this to me in the comments, what does this mean for if East wins? Because if West wins, then it's like, okay, then Hong Kong and the black, what do they call it? The black group, the black mafia, what do they call them? The Black Society. Is that just like a coined term? Is that the same as the triads? Or is that, I'll just say Hong Kong Mafia for right now. But if the Hong Kong Mafia wins, if West wins, it'd be like, okay, you guys, assuming I think it's like Hong Kong, they would say, is allowed to have casinos in Japan, limited in number, whatever, but like, they have a legal right to have casinos, which like Japan has, they have the whole system. If you're not familiar, let's go over this real quick. Japan, the way gambling works in Japan and a lot of places, you go into a place, you spend your money, you win the gamble, and then you get a representation of your winnings. Tickets, coins, something like that. Then you go and take that to a separate place, usually right next door, where then you can trade in those for money. And that's how you get around it. It can't all be in one building. It's literally just gambling. It's the biggest loophole ass shit in the world. There's no, it's just the gambling. But, that's how they get around it. But this is going to be the first legal casino, which doesn't seem like a big deal because it's like, if people could already gamble, what is this really changing? If people can just win and then go right next door and turn it in and get the money, what's the difference? The difference is, like everything, people are fucking lazy. They don't want to do that. And so this is going to bring in so much people who would be spending absurd amounts of money gambling if it was legal, but them having to do this skirt around. You also got to remember the amount of people that are just like, I would never do anything like that. There's an absurd amount of people in the world who would never do something that is legal just because it feels illegal. And so, you're going to run into that as well. So, and also the people who understand it's a loophole and are morally against it, versus if it was legal, they would do it. So there's a lot of money to be made here. But for the East Camp, if the East Camp wins, what does that mean? Is it just like, you guys get to run these casinos? But like, how is this working in terms of the government, I guess I am saying? Like, the government of Japan, they're like, we're either going to give these casinos to, a foreign country and say like, well, I guess I don't understand that either. I was thinking like, we're going to allow a small number of legal casinos because they are, from Hong Kong or Macau, which allow legal gambling. But I thought that was going to be the loophole. Like, well, it's this country's casino, not ours, so they're getting the money, so it's not... I thought there was a loophole there or something, but then how does that work for the Japanese camp? I'm not really sure. Is it just simply, we're giving these people legal casinos, period? Is it just, we're building legal casinos, and we're just going to give them to whoever wins this war? Why is the governor of Tokyo giving it to whoever wins this East-West war? Like, why? I don't know. Why is he letting us fly in this helicopter and everything? I don't know. Are we working for the governor, actually? Is the governor like, please win for me? I don't want it to go to them. I want it to stay within our own country and economy. I don't know. I guess we'll continue reading and we'll see. So yeah, I think, okay, I think that is. I should have just scrolled down to the bottom of the goddamn page. But it wouldn't be a donut reaction if it wasn't me rambling about something that's going to immediately be explained. So yeah, I think this is if Japan loses, all that money that would be going into the Japanese economy is instead going to be going to China. And it's not even going to be going to Hong Kong, it's going to be going to China, most likely, with the whole situation they got going on. Okay, yeah, we don't know exactly the situation, but as I thought, yes, the governor of Tokyo was caught in a trap, probably being blackmailed or something. And now we gotta fucking bail his ass out. So, okay, are we going to Shinjuku to the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building, or are we just cutting there? But bank's in a bad state right now. Accumulated deficit of 40 billion, it's also growing day by day. This becomes public, it is expected that the consequences will become deadly. Governor Inohara. Is this the real governor of Tokyo at this time? I actually gotta look it up. Shinosuke Inohara. Okay, this is either, a just mistranslation of the name, or this guy is not a real guy. Interestingly enough, Shinosuke Nohara, this entire name without the I, is the name of Shinchan. But, what? Is that supposed to be a reference? What? But, yeah, I guess this guy isn't a real guy then. He's a fictional governor. But, alright, so here he is. Honestly, this is the one thing I think, the one thing that, in terms of character design and everything that Maeda does not do as good as Fukumoto, old people. Old people. Fukumoto is the master of old people. This guy, he can't do it. But yeah, this big match is the future of Tokyo. No all of Japan. No other option but to win, right? But yeah, It's like, if my team wins, then I don't have to worry about anything. Like, he's not doing his job because he's just like, I don't give a shit. They're going to get me all the money I need. What a piece of shit. Yeah, because is this like the start of an issue or something? Was it like these 2 pages were the start of the chapter? No, because Finn right there. But interesting, because it does like feel like it flows so well into each other. Because you said we could win, didn't you? Dealings. Chapter 49, Dealings. Oh my god, it's Harada. It's Harada. Is he going to be joining as well? Or is he just like working for the governor now? My god. But okay, it'll all be written off if they win. But yeah, the slimy governor's concept of a public casino in Tokyo. I mean, and a lot more than that. Well, I guess, it's just going to be in different places within Tokyo, but... And okay, so yeah. Shintosen's bank, the huge amount of debts, the 40 billion, everything like that. Founded by the governor, of course. And so it suffered credit crunch. Small, medium-sized business suffered due to it. But, topic aside, actually... Governor Inara had bought the bank with 100 billion in assets for Tokyo. He looks so much like a snake with that fucking triple chin. But then how did the bank go under? It was acquired from a certain foreign affiliated trust bank. Okay, here's where it starts to go. But so far so good. Problem is after that, poor business operation. Despite the triumphant departure, the ship ran aground only a few months after the departure. Departure twice. They built up a cumulative deficit of several tens of billions, and the current situation is almost unbearable to look at. If they leave it on the brink, it'll inevitably sink. And if it becomes public, it'll kill Inohara. Yeah, especially at this time. This is peak, maybe not peak, I would say 70s, probably the peak, politicians actually being held accountable. But, 80s and 90s, pretty good time for politicians being held accountable as well. Okay, yep. So he asked the foreign affiliated company to temporarily compensate for the cost. And now he's in debt to them. But they were fraudulent loans. Oh, boy. So it's parent company, Hong Kong and Macau's Bank HMBG. So, okay, Hong Kong and Macau, both of them. Owned by Macau's Casino King. It's an underground bank that handles large amounts of Chinese government funds. And the Hong Kong Kowloon City Mafia, who have teamed up with them, and made a proposal to the governor of Tokyo. Why don't you exchange the fraudulent loans and Tokyo Casino plan? And they'd call it even. So, I love all this. I love this. I'm so glad we're getting this kind of shit. It's sort of like a reading Gendiken all over again. The fraudulent loans amount to tens of billions, while the Tokyo Casino concession could also possibly reach hundreds of billions. No. Maybe even $1 trillion. God, that tower of cash. Woo! The Kowloon City Mafia knew very well that a deal that paid off a bad loan could not be made public. Yeah, just straight up blackmail, as I said. It was all in order to set a trap. Sawa. Inohara, who was cornered, used the route of the underworld and negotiated with them. Harada. So then it switched into a game of equal footing. A mahjong game, wagering on Macau Casino Concessions and Tokyo Casino Concessions. Okay. I mean, we're just, we already knew that, but it's still hyped to hear it. That's where Ten is. A man who's entrusted with negotiations has gone to the scene. So, okay. Ten and Harada are both negotiating this, I think. The general of the first East-West battle, Ten Takeshi. Yep, the reason of the mahjong match was to go do negotiations. Suddenly summoned Hong Kong due to the status of the deal. Ten himself didn't go. He wouldn't be able to complete the negotiations. Big importance. That's why I went to kidnap Ten to destroy the deal. Okay, so he was just trying to prevent the deal from going through at all. Because I thought the people of Kansai are being ignored. I don't want the Tokyo Casino to be stolen by foreigners, or we stand to the side. Okay, yeah, so it is that pride. That's why we also tried to get one for Kansai. Okay. So he just wanted a whole other casino concession for Kansai. He didn't want to shut it down. He wanted one of his own. That's, yeah, I get it. Didn't seem like it worked, though. But I love it. He had a much more brute force. I'm going to kidnap 10, force my way into this. Oh, hell yeah. I love Kiyomaro so much. But yeah, why are you here now? Alright, about the illegal channel Inohara consulted. I found out that person is a representative of West Japan. I could never go against them. That person also understands my feelings, and so I was put in the lineup. But okay, but you were put on East? I guess because, yeah, from Japan, he just didn't want to go over. Why did those other three go over to West? I guess they were just like, you know, because they're not from Tokyo, so they're gonna get, you know, Ken's not from Tokyo either, but he's still benefiting from this. So, like, you know, and he's from Kansai, but he's still gonna benefit from this. So, I don't know. Well, that's about it for a grown-up conversation. We've arrived, and that's the battlefield. Wait, we're arriving to the battlefield? I thought the battlefield would be on, like, Tokyo or something, but in Hong Kong. But, I guess now we're gonna do it in international waters. That makes sense, I guess. Oh my god, this thing is massive! On the Pacific Ocean, south of Tokyo. The place is floating! That's your response? God damn, this is huge. Hong Kong World Casino Cruise. Okay. Casino Cruise. Oh, holy shit, that's impressive. Oh my god. Kowloon City's Sea Casino. A gigantic fortress floating in the sea. A super luxury casino cruise ship that accommodates 6,500 people. 5 times the total weight of the Titanic. And 365 meters in length. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. That's insane. Whew, boy. And okay, they're all here too. Wait, who the hell is this? But okay, he runs off of one of the fucking 4 heavenly kings, Shinomiya. So, who is this kid? Yeah, pay up. This is just like a fun little match or whatever. I won't let you in any Japanese style rules, even if you are ever screwed over. Okay, not true with this match, just later. But okay, so yeah, he's Hong Kong. No, it was a great learning experience. 4 heavenly kings of Japan. But I mean, yeah, they're all on the same side, but really building this guy up. And he's playing with the 3 of them, but not him. I mean, I assume he's playing with the 2 kings, and then whoever this is, who I assume is another just Hong Kong guy. But I understand perfectly now. Japan has no chance of winning. None at all. Teaching. That's where we end it. Alright. Who knows what this guy is, but, interesting design. What he's got on the fucking gangster hat and everything. And the fucking, whatever you call that. Not really a scarf, I don't think, but, you know, whatever that thing is that all the triads wore. Alright, sick. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a super fun one. And of course, that's where the volume ends as well. Appreciate so often the volume ends on the end of an arc as well. It's so satisfying because 99% of manga don't do that. Super hyped. Super cool. I, you know, understand so much more. Great mystery that I thought we weren't going to get to until the end of the series. But, you know, I appreciate slowly drip feeding this mystery to us. And now, we got it all. Is the rest of the whole series going to be East versus West? I imagine. I can't imagine we're going to do anything else after that. So, just like 10, do some sort of small stuff in the beginning, set up a lot of stuff, and then we go straight into East-West for the whole rest of the whole thing. So, I guess that's what's going to happen. So, I'll see you guys next time for assumingly, I don't know for sure, but assumingly, the first match of the East-West second battle, Hong Kong versus Japan. Hong Kong and Macau. Really, China versus Japan at this point. Cannot wait for it. Super fucking excited. We got so many cool characters as opposed to the first East-West match where I don't really give a shit about most of them. So, really, really excited for this one. I'll see you guys for that. Until then, get the fuck out of here. And if you want more of these reactions quicker, leave a lot of comments. You know, that always makes me do these reactions fast. The more comments, the more quicker I'll do these reactions. So, see you for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.